This is Ode Knight from the show. The choice of Stephen K. Bannon for Trump's inner circle in advisement and possible policy is disheartening, to say the least. And that's going to be a problem to quell the fears of everybody that is going to be concerned about a racist, sexist, misogynistic Trump and his administration. This is one of those facepalm moments where you just go, I get it. You owe the man a campaign favor. You give him a staff and position, whatever. We can only hope that you're just going to do one of those in one ear, out the other bits. But this high up, this close, with such an extremist, doesn't bode well for you and the message that you want to convey to the American people. And I know you don't want to get rid of somebody that fast, especially now that they're shoved into the limelight and their media outlets is not going to get all sorts of crazy fame. But that needs to be dealt with. Seriously needs to be dealt with. We can't have an extreme racist, misogynist running any sort of idea across the president's desk or the VP's desk or anybody else for that matter. Although personally, I'd rather have it out in the open than hidden behind closed doors, because then you know exactly what you're dealing with. But yeah. I mean, this is equivalent to like Obama appointing, one of the new Black Panther people to be his close advisor in the White House. And he's giving advisement on what to do for all the kids or in white middle class America. That is the equivalent. I can't even say mind blown because there's nothing. We saw this coming. You saw this coming. Breitbart used to be about stopping establishment politics from hijacking the media. And they mostly went heavily against the Democrats, but you saw them go against Republicans too, who did that sort of thing. Now they're like the champion of the alt-right. Crazy, hey, white is right and everything else is just second class or worse. And whatever. I'm just complaining at this point. But people everywhere, regardless of your political affiliation, this shouldn't be stood. This should not stand. This should not be stood and saying, oh, well, shrug your shoulders. We'll move on. This needs to be stopped now. This needs to be called out now. And if it takes all of us to unite our voices and say, look, we don't want this to represent anything that you want to push out as far as policy. Get rid of this. I mean, hell, at this point right now, we'll say, look, just pay the man some money and just shove him out the door. Take it out. It's going to come out of taxpayer money anyway. So just say, thank you for your contribution to getting him elected. Here's some money. Go away. You're done. Go, run Breitbart for whatever the heck you want to do and keep the alt-right movement going through your entertainment / wannabe news. That would be a much better, more nobler thing than having the world see this as part of your inner circle. It's disgusting. It is disgusting. And honestly, everybody, left, right, and center, needs to speak up against this. We can't have this. No. Can't regress, people. Come on. And literally, all it would take is for all of us across the entire political spectrum to speak out against this and anything like this, and it should be dealt with by any reasonable person. And Trump so far seems to be taking one big glass of sobriety and chugging it, because he's a completely different person than where he was, grandstanding out in the campaign trail. He's getting to see the harsh reality of the position. So maybe he is a pragmatist. Maybe he will listen to reason, especially now he's being bombarded by everything that comes with that office. So pay the man, get him out the door as quickly as possible, and we can move on to dealing with some real issues instead of having to deal with this alt-right nonsense poisoning the well. This is dumb. And for the record, I don't favor any one group to have any sort of artificial boost against any other group. And when I say by artificial boost, that means that you are already established in a system that favors you over somebody else. Now, the reality is of this situation here is that we do have some groups of people that start out with a -5 to charisma. For all you gamers out there, especially your D&D folks out there, you get this. But you're already starting in the negative, and you're going to have to work extra hard just to get up to ground zero, where everybody else is launched off from. I get that. What we're not saying is, okay, now that everybody else here who's starting off at zero, when you start the race, you're going to have to wait 30 seconds before everybody else catches up. That's not what we're saying. We're saying everybody should start at zero. That may seem like a huge shift to you. It's not. If you want there to be no advantage, people should be starting at zero, where they start at zero. And then let your merits and your skills determine whether you are successful or not. That's the bottom line. And if that's not a conservative idea, then don't be a conservative, because that's been the very core existence of conservatism right there. Let your skills and your actions dictate how well you progress in society, how well you do in business or in education or in life in general. Fine. Live it. Have a good night, folks.